saying dragons aren't real?
Yeah. They aren't real.
What's that?
Santa Claus also isn't real. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry.
Damn. Huh.
And we're probably living in a simulation. Let me tell you what.
Well, Santa Claus is real, isn't he?
In the mall.
No, wasn't there a Santa Claus?
What was it?
Saint Nick?
Yeah.
Saint Nicholas?
Yeah.
So then how long ago did Saint Nicholas die? A very, very long time ago. So then why does he hang out in the mall? What's hanging out in the mall? His spirit-ish? Yeah. Along those lines, yeah.
I can't make up the word. Like his belief, like people his legacy. I think you can say.
Yeah. You can say it's his legacy. In other words, it isn't really him. I don't know, have any of you guys ever seen The Walking Dead, by any chance? How many of you guys have seen it before? Oh, no. Okay, so if you've seen it before, you'll know what I mean when I say we are Negan. In other words, there's a guy who leads a group of bad folks, and his name is Negan. And if you ask any of his followers, what's your name? They say, we are Negan. That's it. They never tell you what their actual name is. In other words, we are this group. So if you kill Negan, what happens? Well, Negan is dead. Long live Negan. Because then there's another person who's going to step in. Have you guys ever heard of, how many of you have seen 300? Sure, curiosity. Okay, last time we looked at a quote from Thucydides. In the movie, who was a commander during that war, there was a group of Persian soldiers called the Immortals. They were called the Immortals because they were all chosen to essentially be, in terms of height, within, I think it's like 3 inches of each other. They all had to be over 6 feet tall. They all had to have a very specific kind of body type. If you were too big and strong, you couldn't be in the Immortals. You had to have a very specific body type. When they fought, they wore a uniform and they wore masks. That's intimidating as hell, because that means it's a column of people all coming at you who all look identical. And so what happens if you throw a spear and you kill one of them? They step aside, the body, and then somebody else slides in, and then somebody in the back slides in, they reform, the body stays behind. It looks like you kill nobody. That's why they were called the Immortals. The idea was if you can't kill them, because there's always somebody there to kind of fill and take their place. Yeah, St. Nicholas died, but long live St. Nicholas. He's there in spirit. He's there as a legacy. I mean, we dare say he's there as a phantom. Because when we think about Santa Claus, what do we think about?
North
Yeah,
Pole.
don't overthink. What's that?
North Pole.
North Pole?
Scanlan.
Not yet. What else? North Pole?
Stalker.
What's that?
Stalker.
You got a stalker?
He knows what you're doing. He knows when you're awake and you're sleeping, bro.
And yeah, it doesn't stop you from doing what you do. He sees that. Knock it off. What else? Was that Christmas? What does Santa Claus do?
Breaks into houses.
Breaks into houses.
Then goes into your house and gives you presents. If you're a good child.
And if you're a bad child, he
brings
sends his
presents.
brother to get you.
He puts on the, I don't
Okay,
know
so he gives presents. So let's focus on this part, not what AJ's saying. He gives you presents, and what does he expect in return? Maybe cookies and milk. Yeah, and if you don't leave cookies, does that mean you don't get any presents?
No.
No. And you earn presents. How do you earn presents?
Being good.
Being good. So essentially, there's a person who gives you good things for being good. Okay? That's the spirit of St. Nicholas. The idea is that it's good to give. The cookies that you give, are they of equal value to what he gives you? No. He gives you something way better than what you give him. And that's the spirit of St. Nicholas, to give people, not to expect back. If they do give you something back, it isn't to pay you. It isn't of equal value. It isn't of equal value, but it's certainly of equal worth. What do you give a person who has everything? Sometimes we'll say, okay, well, I don't know, like my dad or my mom, I want to give them something, but they already have everything that they want. I can't afford anything. What can you give them that they can't buy? Love, true, affection, true. But then that sounds like you're giving it in exchange for something else. Like, I'm going to give you love because you give me a place to stay. You know, if you want a friend, just feed an animal, right? It's kind of the same idea there. So is there anything that you can give them that they cannot get anywhere else, they can't buy? There is, and I'm sure all of you, most of you, have given them something along these lines.
I was gonna say child, but he's go to like an orphanage.
One more time, sorry.
I was gonna say child, but you can go to an orphanage and get one.
Well, you can't just buy one outside of Russia. I guess you can. Lots of children out there in Ukraine right now who need homes. Many of you have a place to put them. They're great for sewing clothes, by the way, if I make a little profit on it. But you can give them a grandchild, that's true. But think back, at the end, again, something that many of you have probably already given them. I hope you haven't given them a grandchild just yet. I don't know, man. I haven't seen your file.
Something personalized?
Something personalized. Go ahead.
Something that you handcrafted yourself?
Yeah, something you made yourself. Didn't you guys make little macaroni plates and weird shit like that when you were like in kindergarten or first grade? You come home and be like, look! And when you look back on it now, you think you must have been really disturbed because it's like some hideous looking thing that looks like it was dragged from hell itself. But your parents look at it and were like, oh, wow, thanks. And you'll be shocked because at some point in your life you may be going through some things and you're going to find a box in your parents' room and you're going to, do I open it? you're going to gather the courage to open it anyway. And you're going to open it and you're going to find some of that stuff that you made from way back then. And I mean, how much is that macaroni plate worth? Probably nothing. Oh, well, that's if you consider the price of everything. But you shouldn't consider the price of everything. Consider the value of everything. And there are people out there who know the price of everything and the value of nothing. And this is one of those things that St. Nick is delivering to us, the idea that we should know the value of things, not necessarily their price. The cookies don't cost you much. I mean, the whole box costs you like $2, and you're only going to leave out like 3, you cheap son of a bitch. You want to really impress St. Nicholas, leave out some eggs. Right? Now, I already asked you if Santa Claus exists, and you said no. You unbeliever. Do dragons exist? Perhaps.
Maybe.
Oh, now I've got you wondering, huh? Yeah, of course they exist. Of course they exist. What do dragons do?
They fly.
They fly.
They protect treasure.
They protect treasure.
They spit fire.
They spit fire. There's something else to do.
Guys, think about something Asian.
They
Come on.
kill something Asian.
They give birth.
They give a what?
Wait, what?
They give birth.
I think that's all animals.
That's Shrek, right?
They lay eggs?
They lay eggs. What do they guard? Princesses and treasures. Where? Castles. All right. So now think about this. You have these dragons, and they breathe fire. We'll get to that. So they protect. They live in castles. They protect treasure, and they kidnap and protect. Shut up. It's close enough, all right? Castles, treasure, and princesses. And so they protect status, wealth, and significant love. You see this? Now, who fights the dragons?
Night.
The knight, right? And the knight shows up, and what's the knight look like?
Something
Big,
with metal
strong.
armor.
Wearing big metal armor. Because that's the best thing to wear, right? When you're fighting a fire-breathing dragon. What happens if that dragon just breathes a little bit of fire towards that knight? He stands there, he's like, I have my armor on.
Well, that's gonna melt and quicker.
You guys know what a brazen bull is?
Yeah.
Yeah, a brazen bull is an old torture device, which is essentially a big metal bowl, and they would light a fire underneath it, and they would take a person and put them inside of it until it cooked you to death. That's what happens here if you put the armor on to go fight the dragon, and you're the knight. So you're going to go out there, if I understand this correctly, you're going to go fight a big, scary dragon, which of course, remember, that's a monster who's the complete opposite of you. You walk, it flies. You have small teeth, it has sharp teeth. You have skin, it has scales. This is a magnification of that thing that's living inside of your closet. It's your uncle. But the scary monster that lives inside there, that when you were a little kid, you were saying, oh, there's a monster in my closet. Whatever you were imagining, whatever you were populating the imagination, whatever you were populating the unknown with, that's the thing that's now flying around you. And so what is your job in life? To go fight it. And what are you fighting it for? Status, wealth, love. And you go out there and you're going to go fight these things. And by the way, if you go fight for it, it's going to burn you alive. That's what it does. If these are the things in life that drive you, if the things that drive you in life are status, wealth, and love, then you're going to do anything for them, including go fight a horrible beast for them. Because remember, when the knight approaches the castle, he looks off to the side and he sees a big pile of bones of all the knights who have come before him. Success and victory is not guaranteed to the knight. Most people who go fight the dragon dies. So I guess I would ask that question, are dragons real? Of course. Many of you have to fight them. You fight them every day. What is the dragon that you're fighting? There's something in all of you. It's probably, maybe it's all three of these things. Maybe it's more than just this. Because you might be thinking like, yeah, those are the things I want. Yep, and those are the things that lead you right into the very mouth of hell itself to go get. And by the way, the ways in which you protect yourself against that are usually the things that make life way worse for you. You put on armor to go fight a fire-breathing dragon. You put big walls around yourself to protect yourself. You know, you go out and you're willing to do anything for money and status, including degrade yourself, including taking jobs, doing things that you absolutely despise yourself for doing. You put on this armor because you think it's going to protect you in some way. In actuality, it makes things way worse, man. Way worse. So the knight's smart, he takes off the armor. And we might think like, that's stupid, then you have no protection. Oh, but sometimes no protection is better than some protection if the protection is making things worse for you. So maybe the walls and things that we build around ourselves, they're not keeping us safe. Maybe they're isolating us, but they're making life way worse for us. They're making things way harder for us than what we think we're protecting ourselves. So maybe what you need to do is take some of those walls down, take that armor off, and you need to go and fight the thing that you're attacking head on, as you actually are. Not with these false things around you, but with the thing that you actually are. And then see what happens. Maybe you join the pile of bones off to the side. Maybe slaying this dragon is not for you. But you need to, maybe it's for somebody else. But at least you will have approached it and fought it as you actually are, not as something that you're not. And at least that way you get defeated as what you are, not defeated for what you're not. Yeah? So, I don't know, man. I wonder if any of you guys in here struggle with this dragon of insecurity. Or you struggle with this dragon of, you struggle with the dragon of your past. People know you as what you used to be, not what you're trying to become. And people keep pushing you back into what you were and what you have been, even though you're trying to emerge and become something different, something better. Maybe you struggle with this dragon of arrogance. Maybe you struggle with this dragon of anger or greed or something. But the thing is that if you approach it and you aren't prepared for it, it's going to kill you. Maybe literally, by the way, because some of those things can lead to actual death. But there's things that are worse than actual physical death. There's metaphorical death, which is way worse. Because physical death kills your body, but metaphorical death kills your spirit, it kills your soul. It kills your psyche, it kills your mind. And then you're not dead. You're living another 30, 40, 50, 80 years in an absolute living hell of your own mind. That might be a really bad dragon to try to overcome, man. You know? It would be so much easier if we could just kill the thing itself. But it's not as easy as just killing the thing itself. Killing an idea, that's hard, man. That's hard. It's one of those reasons it's so bad to gossip about people and say things behind their backs, especially when they're not true. Not just if they are true. Not just if they are true, but which we shouldn't do anyway. But also if they're not true. Because now you're creating a reality. Well, that reality, that's far harder to kill than the actual reality and the truth. So, questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms, critiques? Happy Thursday.